Okay, once again you want to use an ActionScript 3.0 and let us make certain to change the properties. So we want it to be 1280 by 720, 12 frames per second, and this will be 10 tutorial. So let's choose autosave every 10 minutes. Now let's save this one as 10 tutorial with your initials. Okay. And we'll fit in window. We want to select the oval tool with a solid color black fill and no stroke. Get the oval tool, no stroke, and a solid color black. And draw an oval. Use the selection tool to select the circle. Use Align Info to set the height and width to 250. So Align Info, height and width to 250. And save that. Select that circle, so it's selected right now. And now I want to use the fill color to change it to a radial gradient fill. So click here and come down to a radial gradient fill. And it's got black for the outer color and red for the inner color. Press F, and that brings up the gradient transform tool. And move the highlight to the upper left part of the circle. So now it looks more like a ball. And now let's open the color panel, which is up here under the artist's palette. And let's change the outer to a less dark. So first let's move the red over so that it's further over in this direction. And let us perhaps add a stop there. Pull this one off. And that gives you more of a nice shading. And now let's click over here on the far side and let's change this first stop to be a white color. There we go. And you can pull this up close to the white to make it more of a highlight. A little bit less close. That looks good. Command S. With the selection tool, make sure to change to the selection tool, and let's close this color box. Let's select the keyframe so it'll select the whole thing. And let's press F8 to make it into a symbol, and we'll call it ball. And this will be a graphic type. And we want the registration to be the bottom center dot, so right there. That makes sure it bounces the right way. So I think it might actually set it, but we just want to make sure. Command S. And then with this instance selected on the stage, we want to go to the motion presets. If you come over to the icons that are in this bar next to the properties, you'll see there's motion presets is the icon that looks like 3 changing size dots. So click on that, and I like to get the motion presets and drag the tab up next to the properties so I can see them all better. And I'm going to look at my default presets. And if we give it enough room at the top, we can get a good preview. And you want to try some of the bounces. Now, the preview is not really this symbol. The preview is whatever they've got set as the default preview. So it'll be a shape. Doesn't mean it'll look like your ball. So don't worry about that. Just want to see what kind of motion it makes. So here's a large bounce. Here's a medium bounce. Here's a multiple bounce. pulse, small bounce, and just choose one and apply it. And now you can see it's added enough frames. There's a preset number of frames, and it's put this bounce in on this. Let's Command Save, and then we can Command Return and see it bouncing. You see it puts in all of the stretch and squash. It puts in a little bit of this ease in, ease out. It has settings for it. You can also edit the way that it moves by using your selection tool to edit the path. You can use your selection tool to change the number of frames, and it uses roving keyframes to change the position of the keyframes, so that makes it go faster. So you can make some changes to this motion. It's editable. You can also make it drag out quite a bit. So there's a lot of capabilities here. And let's go back to 75. And let's go back to the straight bounce line. And there it is, back to what it was. Okay. That is the motion presets.